session. We will discuss about all the policy. We will do some kind of hands-on experience also. And then we will discuss on which layer we should apply which policy. That kind of discussion we will do.
And what is the use of API managed groups?
API managed group.
Yeah.
So all those things will come inside this, what I can say, access management. Okay. Let's say you have like multiple developer. Okay. And few developer you want to give some kind of access. For few developer, let's say for few developer, they will have design center read and write access, but they will not able to publish on exchange. For few developer, they will have access to publish on exchange also. For few developer, they will not have deployment access. Okay, so that kind of like you can create groups. Okay, and then you can add users and you can give them access what all things they can do.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and Ravi, one request. Is that possible on the same day if you can share the recordings, that would be great. Because again, once you share that by Tuesday, once the weekday starts, it's getting hard to listen. Because I personally missed yesterday's class. Thought of asking you to share it on the same day. At least by the next class, we will understand.
Yeah, I will try to upload on same day, but sometime it may be delayed also. In that case,
okay.
I don't want to keep people me pinging.
Oh, okay. Sure. But if possible, no, whenever is possible, please try to send on the same day. That will be much appreciated. Thank you so much.
So we can start on new topic that will be our runtime manager. Okay, so first of all, like anyone know about I hope everyone know about basic of runtime manager. So this runtime manager is nothing but it's a Mule server where we can deploy our Mule application. Okay, so whenever we deploy our Mule application, you will get status as I started if it is successfully deployed. Okay, and you can see here target name also. Okay, target name will be based on your server, which server you are using. If you are using Cloud Hub, it will be Cloud Hub. If you are using hybrid one, okay, means your runtime plane is managed by yourself. Means you are creating your own infrastructure and there you are running your Mule runtime on-premise one, and you are integrating with this API. Sorry, you are integrating with this endpoint platform. Means management plane will be Mulesoft and runtime plane will be provided by company itself. Like they will create their own infrastructure. Then target type you will get a here hybrid. If you are using RTF1, you will get RTF. Okay, and here you can see like runtime version, which Mule runtime you are using. So like we have 3.9, 4, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. So this one is 4.41 is latest one. And last modified date you will be able to see here. Now to deploy application here, what you need to do? First, you need to click on deploy application. And then it will ask you application name. So whatever application name you will provide here, it must be unique. Okay. Why it must be unique? Since you are going, like you have this what I can say, this runtime plane or worker is hosted on Cloud Hub. Okay, and Cloud Hub like what Mulesoft is doing, they have purchased very big space and they have created multiple workers there. And based on your license, they will assign you worker. Okay, so they are going to use common space. So that's why if you will use existing name, it will give you error. Let's say if I'm using demo only, okay, only level lower. Okay, demo is aligned. Okay. Okay, maybe it's related to only your within your application, within your set of worker, it should be unique. Okay, then fine. So here I am giving application name is customer, and then here you can see now they have introduced Cloud Hub 2.0 also. That option also you are getting. Hybrid is there, but only running target may be used. So here I don't have any running target, so I can't see any hybrid server here. Okay. So we are going to use this Cloud Hub one. So select this Cloud Hub one. Okay. Then now you are start getting that. Since as I mentioned, application name is not available since someone is using this one. But if you will use this hybrid or other one, maybe like that is specific to your. So this, yes.
Yeah, yesterday actually I watched some one video on YouTube. In Cloud Hub 2.0, we can have yeah, I mean same name, but in other version, we are not supposed to enter a unique name. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be unique name. That's correct. So if you are using Cloud Hub, then it must be unique name. But in Cloud Hub 2.0, which is introduced like recently, I think 1 or 2 months back, they have added some like this kind of capability. You can give same. Okay. So we are going to use Cloud Hub. So let's use. Only letter number and dashes. Okay. I selected this Cloud Hub one, and then it's asking from where you want to take your mule application. You want to take from Exchange or you want to take it from local. Okay, so you can select this upload. Okay, I took it from local. Now see, here we have few things which you should know. Okay, first thing inside this runtime manager, we have few things. First thing runtime version. Okay, so we have multiple runtime version here 4.4.0, 4.4.3, and you can see old one also. Okay, so you need to select which runtime you are using. At this moment, there are many projects they are using 4.3.0 also. So you need to check with your team which runtime they want to use. If it is completely new project, then definitely you should select latest one. But if it is existing project, whatever runtime they are using, you should continue with that one. Okay. Now coming to this worker and worker size. Okay. So as I mentioned, like if you go. So if you go to Cloud Hub deployment model, so what Mulesoft did, they have purchased very big space on AWS cloud. And what they did there, they have multiple workers. So these all are workers on Cloud Hub. Now, like Mulesoft got 3 clients. Okay, let's say Mulesoft has now 3 clients and they want to take license. So what Mulesoft will do from this shared space, okay, let's say we have client A. So from this shared space, he has given this many space to that client based on his requirement. He got this many space. Now another client is there based on the requirement, like he need 2 vCore only. So he will get less number of workers. Okay. Then another client is there. Okay. Another is there. They also need 2 vCore. So he got this space. Okay. Another one is there. He need again 4 vCore. He got this many of space. Okay. So they have some one shared space where they have purchased like very big space, and based on the client. Okay. So they are giving some space to each client based on how many vCores that client want. Okay. So now this worker, okay, this worker you can see in this diagram, this small entity you can see, this is small circle, these all are worker. Okay. So once you take license, they will give you some space on their shared resource, and within that you can create n number of worker based on how many vCore you purchased. Okay. Now let's say you purchased 1 vCore. Okay. So using that 1 vCore, either you can create one worker or you can create 10 worker also. If you will use worker size as a 0.1 vCore, then you using same 1 vCore, you will able to create 10 workers. Okay. But if you are using worker having size 1 vCore, you have capacity of 1 vCore only. So you can create only one worker. Okay. So worker is nothing but it's a smallest unit of Mule runtime where you can deploy your Mule application. And worker is categorized in 8 types based on its size. Okay. So you can see here, first one is 0.1 vCore. Second one is 0.2 vCore. And you can see by default, there are some heap memory also. So how much worker size you will purchase, based on that, you will get heap memory. Okay, 0.2 vCore, 1 GB, 1 vCore, 1.5 GB, 2 vCore, 3.5 GB, 4 vCore, 7.5 GB, 8 vCore, 15 GB, 16 vCore, 32 GB. Okay, so this many types of worker are there based on its size. Now you may think about how you will select how many workers we want and how many, what V code we should select. Okay, so you need to identify first your API is what kind of API you are going to develop. What will be complexity of your API? How many requests you will get per minute or per second? Okay, all those things you need to first identify, and then you need to select which vcode you will get. Let's say you are going to use develop one API which will read file from one system and it will send to another system. So definitely you are reading file, so that API will be heavy API. Okay, so those kind of API need more size of memory, heap memory, and even worker also. In that case, if you will go with 0.1 vcode, which contain 500 MB memory, maybe like within 20 requests only your vcode will be filled. You will go out of memory and your server will crash. In that case, you should go with bigger size of worker. Okay, now, okay, this particular process, when we are thinking, okay, we need our file size is bigger, then our process is more CPU intensive process, like lots of business logics are there, and I need to increase server vcode size, worker vcode size. Then this kind of process is known as vertical scaling. So what you are doing, vertically you are scaling your worker size. Previously you are using this 0.1 vcode, and now you realized your application is modified and you need like a bigger file size, or maybe your process now getting more complex, so it will be more CPU intensive process where more CPU will be utilized. Then you should go with this vertical scaling. Okay, so here you are increasing the size of worker. Okay, second thing we have, if like you have one application deployed with one worker 0.1 vcode, and that application is able to handle 100 requests. Okay, now in future, like at this moment you are getting 80 requests only, and you are capable to do serve 100 requests, then everything is good here. But in future, like when your application will be on more demand, okay, when you will have more number of users, maybe during promotion time, or maybe like your organization is growing and they are getting more number of users, then in future you may need to have more number of requests. Your API should able to handle more number of requests. Right now it's handling 100 requests maximum, but now you start getting 150 requests. In that case, again your application will crash, since it will be overloaded by transactions, like there will be more transactions. In that case, we should do horizontal scaling. In horizontal scaling, what you can do, this 0.1 v code will able to will able to handle 100 requests, and now you are getting 150. So what you will do in horizontal scaling, you will deploy same instance on new worker. Okay, so you will create one more worker and you will deploy same application on that worker also. Now you have same application deployed on two worker having 0.1 vcode. So first one was able to handle 100. Now second one will also able to handle 100 requests. So now it's capable to handle 200 requests. So this particular process is known as horizontal scaling. Okay. Now this three part. Okay. So first thing, object store v2. Okay, so whenever you are using clustering, okay, what we just now mentioned, horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling is a kind of clustering only. So what you are doing, same application you are deploying on 2-3 worker. Okay, and you are using object store for caching purpose or for some other purpose. So what will happen, few requests will go to worker 1, few requests will go to worker 2. And if you are using object store 1, is a simple object store, then object store will be created inside your worker. If you are using object store v1 or normal object store, then object store is getting created inside your worker, and you have application deployed on two worker. Okay, so what will happen? They will not able to reuse the data from object store. Although they both are same application only, but few requests will have different set of data in object store. Few set of data will have different set of data in object store. Since object store v1 will create inside your worker. So in that case, you will have inconsistent data for different requests. To avoid that kind of problem, what you can do, you can select this particular checkbox, object store v2. So what it will do, it will create one object store outside of your worker. Let's say you have 3 workers for same application. So it will create one object store outside of worker, and that work object store will be used by all 3 workers. Okay, where you have deployed same application. So all 3 workers will able to use same object store. So there will be data consistency. Okay, so if you have this kind of scenario where you are going to do clustering and you have some data, like you want to cache some data or you want to store some temporary data, which should be accessible by all the instance, then you should use object store v2. First option is automatically restart application when not responding. So if you are making request and your application is unable to serve that request, what it will do? It will automatically restart your worker. Okay. And Mulesoft, this cloud of deployment provide zero downtime. Okay. What does it means? This is another scenario, like if application is not responding, then it will restart. That is one thing. Another thing is zero downtime. If you are deploying your Mule application, until unless your new application will not be deployed and it will not be active, your previous worker will be active. That worker will keep serving the request. Okay, until unless new deployment will not be completed and that server will not be up, previous server or previous worker will keep serving the request. It will be keep active. Okay. And then we have another option like persistent queue and encryption. Okay, these two, like whenever you are using VM queue and you want to make it persistent, then you will select this option. Okay, so this is all about deployment. And once you will complete all this setup, you need to click on deploy application. Then it will start the deployment. Okay, apart of that, we have few more things here to discuss that we will discuss in next session. And this is very important. That is VPC, load balancer, and VPN. Okay, these 3 will be very like you can say complex part, so that we will again have one complete session for that to understand VPC, VPN, and load balancing. Okay, and what all combination it works, everything we need to understand. Okay. Now this application start its deployment. So here you will able to see one worker is like going to deploy. Okay, and you will able to see here logs. For console log, you will able to see here. If you are creating any VMQ or anything, you will able to see here. If you are creating any object store, if you are using any object store, that detail you will able to see here. Okay, and inside setting, you will able to see same console what we had earlier. Okay, that you will get inside settings. Okay, if you haven't restricted it, you can download same set of code from here. Once you will click on this, it will start the download. Okay, but you can block this functionality. Okay, in like access management, you can block this application file download. So no one will able to download source code from here. Okay, fine then. I think we are good with today's session.
Ravi. Yeah, Ravi.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when you are going to explain about the load balancer, are you going to consider the mule internal worker and everything? Are you going to explain us?
Fuel internal worker. That part I'm not sure. Load balancer is what is internal worker?
Okay, so if you have three APIs, for example, when you have the system API, process, and experience API, okay, so for
Yes.
the prod and non-prod, we need to initialize that in our load balancer, right? So in that case, we have to initialize three parts of APIs every time for the prod and non-prod, where it occupies a lot of space. So for that reason, we use the system API, process API won't be used for anybody. So where we can use the mule worker internal for that. And you can initialize only, you can load in the load in dedicated load balancer, you can declare only about the experience API. If you can work on that and can you please tell us, that will be great. Maybe I
Yeah,
need it.
yes. So load balancer I will explain, but whatever you explain, that is I'm not sure like in this way it works. So generally what we do, okay, in load
Uh,
balancer,
uh,
like we have two kind of load. Okay, let's do it
yeah.
later on. Okay, we have detailed
Oh,
discussion on
okay.
that. Many things are there.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I just need some info on mule worker internal as well, because I'm working on that one now. So I did it, but I need a more detailed explanation on that. So that's what I was requesting you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Ravi, I have a question, right? So here the object store V2 as mentioned. Generally, earlier we discussed about object store. What is difference between in these two?
Just now I explained. No? Object store V1 will create inside your worker, and object store V2 will be created outside of worker. So if you are using clustering, okay, if you have multiple instance of your worker, like same application deployed on multiple worker,
Mm.
means you have clustering. In that case, you should use object store V2. Since it will be outside of your worker, then all the worker will able to use same object store. So data consistency will be there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, fine then. Thanks everyone.